Guess who we have standing by on line 10?
Well, it would be the president of the Manitoba Métis Federation, the one and only David Chartrand.
How are you doing there, Ray?
We're doing fine today. It's nice and sunny outside. And
Same thing here, Ray. I'm sitting right in front of the lake, and there's a light breeze. It was miserable here for the last 3 days of rain and cold, and today I'm just sitting here admiring the beautiful waves and the wind as it just sweeps right by you, and you can see I'm just sitting here with a pullover on. I don't even need a jacket. It's so nice out.
Oh, wow.
So I'm out in the beautiful country of cranberry portage.
Mm-hmm.
Again, there's a traditional whole Métis route that was used by our ancestors in the fur trade, and clearly cranberry portage is still a very powerful community of its own, and a lot of Métis people still live in there. And we had, actually, my mother-in-law was a very active local leader at one time during her good health era, her good health times, and but arthritis and everything took her away from her ability to volunteer. Now we have, of course, we have the great leaders in the community of Cranberry, and I just admire the work they do out here. But it's a beautiful country, Ray. I love the countryside of Cranberry.
Mm-hmm.
But I got happy birthdays I want to give out. Happy birthday to Jerry Beers, Minister Mona Beers' husband, who celebrated his birthday on Friday, October 15th. Happy birthday to Joanne Paget, Winnipeg Region Vice Chair of the St. Norbert Parish, the Barrie Métis Council, who is celebrating her birthday on Sunday, October 17th. Happy birthday to Minister David Baudon, Winnipeg Regional Executive, who is celebrating his birthday on Monday, October 18th. And happy birthday to Minister Judy Mayer. Judy Mayer is always on the show. We've got a giant group of children and grandchildren. The Vice President of Regional is celebrating her birthday this time on October 18th. And happy birthday to Albert Beck. He's the director of the 60 Scoop, who is celebrating his birthday on Wednesday, October 2021. So, let me speak all about, Ray, what did you do for Thanksgiving?
Well, not too much, because our kids are out of town, as you know. So we really did nothing. We watched the football game.
Well, it was really busy for us in Duck Bay. We kept my mom's tradition alive, as I said on the show the week before, and that I was just so proud of my wife Gloria, who cooked up a storm. Started the night before, like my mom would usually do. Made my mom's famous stuffing, and it was just the aroma. My sister was baking next door, and the house is packed.
Oh,
and it just people come from all over the place, and from Skowhegan, we had the chief from Skowhegan. He came all the way there, and I want to thank him and Richard and his wife. They came from Skowhegan. It was just great to see so many people come to visit and pop by to have a meal, and they really went back full and joyful. It's good Thanksgiving. So something that, Ray, as I said on the show, it's very important that we don't forget family, and that we need to be celebrating these times of get-togethers and keeping our family close to each other. So that's going to be important, that people always remember these celebrations and try to, no matter how busy you are, try to find a time to go and be with family, because you can't replace that. Nothing can replace family.
That's
so
right.
So Thanksgiving was really beautiful, and I guess I'm sure my mom was very proud of my family, and my wife for sure will learn some of their trades from my mom. And it was and Sharon was making fresh bannock pies, Ray, and tarts, and big cakes, and apple pie, lemon pie, Ray, everything homemade, nothing but a can. I tell you, Ray, it was a sight to see. And so, Cowboy, what did you do, Cowboy?
Oh, he's standing there.
Yeah, sorry about that. It caught me off guard. For Thanksgiving, you mean?
Yeah, what did you do?
Not much. Just basically had a friend of mine drop off a meal for me.
Okay, well, next year, if Gloria has her way and I have my way, we'll have a cabin built, and we're going to tell our family, and I don't want to break my mom's tradition, but to try to have maybe a Thanksgiving out there. And if you're close by, Cowboy, you'll have to come and have one of our traditional meals.
Oh,
and you'll
right
love
on.
it.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, and so just in case Bert Liffitt is listening out in Cranberry, of course he's the local chair. I didn't break down, Bert. I'm okay. I got enough boats here to get home.
Right.
Last year I broke down and he had to come and get me. So this time I'm okay, Bert, if you're listening. Anyways, my granddaughter, I took her out of school, and my wife and I had a discussion. We talked to the school, and we bought her out because she's the harvester now, upcoming harvester in my family. As I said on the show before, my grandsons, they don't hunt. They play games instead of hunting. They have no desire, and my granddaughter has desire. She killed a deer. This year we're hoping she'd get her moose, but she didn't. We did get a moose. We're very proud of that. We got 2 moose. There's 6 of us out here. I never got nothing. I don't actually shoot no more, Ray. I lost my desire for some reason.
Right.
I just love being camping and just having a break away from everything and taking the stress out of me and sitting around the campfire laughing and cooking. I cooked breakfast this morning, and so I cooked chicken soup yesterday. We had fried moose meat. I got to watch how much I cook here because my wife's getting very upset with me. She said, "You never cook at home, and yet you're cooking over there. You're going to start cooking at the house." I better tell everybody they had the worst meal ever in their life, so this way she wouldn't make me cook at home. Anyways, I want to state again for Denise Thomas, who represented me. I couldn't because I was away this week. As I said, I took my granddaughter out of school. I talked to the school advising them that I'm taking her for a cultural week to learn about harvesting, the responsibility of harvesting. At the same time, how you respect an animal. Like for those harvesters listening out there, young people, this is what we've been taught throughout our time, and so does Ed that's here, and Derek and others, John. They've been taught the traditional way. So when you kill a moose, you cut off his beard and you hang it in a tree, and that's important because you're setting an example of respecting the animal. And a lot of people today, they just disregard that, And I heard there was somebody killed by Sheridan, somebody killed a cow and a calf and left it there, Wow. So I don't care if they're Métis or non-Métis, whoever the hell they are, First Nation, non-Indigenous, they should be punished for that. God gave us and give us to cherish and honor and eat and provide for us. So, but again, for people out there, if you're harvesting a moose, make sure you hang his beard in a tree somewhere so you could show your respect and honor to that moose and the good Lord for giving us that food to eat. So, but Denise represented me, as I was saying. Denise Thomas went to a gathering in Winnipeg where we announced a new partnership with the University of Winnipeg. Dr. Annette Tremby, in case we forgot her name, she actually was the president of the University of Winnipeg for about 5 years. She actually left her position and moved to Alberta. I'm not sure it's Edmonton or Calgary. But she's Métis. She's actually born and raised in Transcona, and she's very, very proud of her grandmother was a proud Métis. And she grew up and got her education and became president of university and created an Indigenous course requirement for undergraduate students. And she's very proud of that. And so we, in partnership with the university, matched each other. And we created a fund. I think it's $500,000 fund, $250,000 from us, $250,000 from University of Winnipeg. It's going to be called the Dr. Annette Tremby Scholarship. And the first scholarship will go out to a value of $10,000 per year. Will be awarded starting in 2022. The fall term, it will be renewable for up to 5 years. So it's going to be a good one. I think, and it'll be a permanent program, I believe. But it's going to be clearly a good opportunity for students to get $10,000 to help them bring their costs down so they don't owe so much money when they leave there. And for the Red River Métis citizens that are listening out there, make sure you put your application in for all those students. Don't let this slip by you, and hopefully you'll be the lucky one. But remember, to every student from the Métis Red River citizens that we have, we give you $5,000 to assist you in your education and post-secondary at university. So no matter if you're going to university right now, you will be assured you'll get $5,000. Get your application into Little Rail Institute and make sure it's there, and we'll make sure that it's, our chair, Minister Ledoux, is on top of that file. So I think we had over 1,000 students apply last year, and so we're looking forward again to seeing another 1,000 or more. So that's $5 million. I think we gave last year $7 million. So I'm looking forward to more and more students applying, and we're hoping that we can help the parents so parents don't have to suffer and worry about their child owing so much money and trying to get their education, which should be the right of every citizen in this country. So the get out and vote thing worked excellent. There was an article in the paper. I understand one of the redraws had to happen for a PS5. We kept all of the thousands upon thousands of photos that came in. So I think they're redrawing that one for one person. There was a mix-up on one. But the rest of the PS5s went out for them, the 5 TVs, and the car. I don't have Boyson, I think his name was. I don't have him in front of me here. But he was watching with his children, and I'm sure they were jumping up for joy. He came right away that afternoon, right, and picked up the car. And she was very, very proud to be a winner. And at the same time, I was very proud to see so many people come out to vote and send a message that we matter. and that their voice matters. So, again, to all those participated, I want to say thank you very much for getting the Métis out to vote, getting your children, your family, your cousins, your relatives, make sure they went out and vote. The Blue Rail Institute is held its annual general meeting on Wednesday. I wasn't there, but the cabinet was there on behalf of the government, and they had some very, very successful year, Blue Rail Institute. The homeschool support program was over 250,000 kindergarten to grade 12 students learned remotely with the LRI. Wow. They had a program that went out to not only just Métis students, to other students between kindergarten and grade 12. Mm-hmm. And so I was very proud to see the expansion of the Blue Rail Institute and its achievement. And also they had 90 shows that they taught Métis culture and history through Red River Cart Adventures. And again, I want to thank them for that. And just the work that Sharon does. Sharon actually does that morning update on culture on CTV every morning. And I'm very proud of seeing them 80 minutes there. So, again, that's something that I think we're very proud. We're also working in the Michif languages, and people who want to learn Michif, get a hold of the Blue Rail Institute. And I think, Ray, I'm going to commit myself to trying to learn some Michif later. Mm-hmm. I can speak Soda fluently. I can speak English fluently, I hope. I hope I can speak some Michif, too. So I'm going to look at trying to do that, too. So I also want to talk, given the fact I'm harvesting out here, I got a unfortunate call from one of our elders who had a permit to hunt in the ducks and the porcupine from the Métis government, and he indicates that he was harassed by a conservation officer, and he felt very, I will say, belittled, trying to bring him down, criticizing our Métis harvester cards. I assure you I'll be dealing with this when I get home, and if the Conservatives are listening right now, I'm going to guarantee you're going to be listening to me when I get home. Nobody can ever treat my elders in that fashion, and I will be holding that. If that game warden is listening, a conservation officer, I guarantee I'll be coming after you. If you ever make my elders feel that way, I'll be doing everything in my power now to hold you accountable. If I send that message, not a threat, it's a promise. I will deal with this issue when I get home. And if you have your permit, there's 26 permits we gave out. You don't be afraid to harvest. You go in there and harvest. You take the conservation officer's number, his name if you get it. And if he wants to charge you, tell him you go damn right ahead. My government's going to back me up. Even if it costs us $1 million, my government's going to back me up all the way to the Supreme Court of Canada. You tell them that. And if they want to charge you, let's go to court and let's find out who's going to win. We will win this battle. That's a true harassment that's taking place. I will talk to Premier Gertson as soon as I arrive when I get to return home next week. And I spoke to Minister Lajmadi already on this issue. He's also going to be following up on this. And he's waiting for a letter to come officially from the Federation, which will come next week. What I want to do is interview the elder a little bit more, make sure the facts are right, and I'm going to send that in. But he really disheartened our elder. I made him feel small, not of value, and I don't give a care who it is out there. Anybody treats a Métis elder that way, you're going to be in for a war with us, because there's nobody going to treat our elders that way. So I want to make it very clear. He had a permit to harvest there, and they didn't charge him, Ray. But I'll tell you what, this is an example of the bureaucrats sometimes will do things to try to, because I know there's conservation officers personally out there that do not believe that Métis should have the right to harvest. Mm-hmm. But it's not their call. They got to follow the law like we got to follow the law. The Supreme Court made it very clear. The law is the law, and I don't give a care if you're a conservation officer or not. You got to abide with the law, and you want to treat people breaking the law, you're breaking the law. We might even look at charging or attempting to take this gentleman to court, is what the elder is saying. He was humiliated, and he wants to deal with this issue. He does not want this guy to get away with doing that to others. So we do have his name, as I said. We will be following up on this. But when you look at it overall, Ray, they sent us a letter that how insulting it was. They sent us a letter. They allow us to take 5 moose from the 2 mountains to Métis people, and we told them, we laughed at it. You know, we're taking 26 moose out of 3,600 moose, I think, in that mountain. And clearly, if you ask me, is there a chance for extinction of that moose in that mountain? Never right now. No way in hell. So there's no law that they have provincially that overrule our law. Our laws are protected by the Constitution of this country and by the courts of this country. So that game warden, that conservation officer, I still use the old form of game warden, but their new phrase is conservation officers. And you know what he did right to that after he humiliated our elder?
What?
He didn't charge him. He gave him a warning. You know why? Because he knew if he charged him, we're going to beat him. Because I said, you go back there, You go in that mountain, you go hunt, and you let them charge you. Tell me you go ahead, charge me then. You go ahead and charge me if you think I'm breaking the law. We'll see who's breaking the law, you or me. So they didn't charge us. They just gave them a warning. And what they're trying to do, Ray, to harvesters listening out there, I got a call from one of our harvesters in that area saying people are nervous to go out. They're worried about the conservation officers taking things from them. We will guarantee you 100%. The Federation will back you up 100% of everything you have. You lose your gun, you lose your truck, you lose anything. We will fight to get it back. And if I don't ever get it back, I'll damn well buy a new one. So that is very clear. I don't want my harvesters to ever be afraid. And I'll give you the value back wherever you lose, because you will never lose it in the courtroom. When we get in the courtroom, we will beat them. And we got the money to back you up. So I want our harvesters never to be afraid or to be mistreated in any way in that fashion. I'll guarantee you that. So you'll see, Ray, I had a week of rest here. I'm getting all pumped up now, and that conservation officer is going to be hearing from me very quickly as soon as I return home. And so on the Dauphin issue, I'll be in Dauphin on October 19th. I want to, again, give my condolences. The mayor passed away in that town, and he really, he was originally from Winnipegosas, and he really enjoyed the Métis investments we're making in there. He was very proud of that, because we have now probably the biggest office building there in Dauphin now that Mr. Chartrand and Mr. Germain and Pronto are working on, and that celebration will be happening later. But their daycare center, now their child care center, is open, Ray. Not open, officially will be open on Tuesday, October 19th. I'll be in Dauphin to cut the ribbon. Right. And I think it's our 4th or 5th one now of our child care centers, because we're going to try to build 13 by hopefully June or July. So, and then we're going to build more after that. But Ray, as I said on the show before, if you want a career, a good paying job, a career for the rest of your life, childcare certificates, childcare training, childcare development, that's where you go right now, because we will be hiring 250 to 300 people in the next several years. So that's permanent jobs. So I want to make sure, and they pay like close to $30 an hour. So I want to make sure that people listening out there, they may start you off a bit lower, but we'll do everything in our power to make sure your salary is very prompt. And we have one of the best benefit programs in Manitoba or in Canada. We take good care of our staff. So again, that's a big announcement coming up. I want to thank the minister, of course, in charge of that, Francis Chartrand, and I look forward to that. On October 14th, CFS Authority held their 8th annual meeting. Again, I couldn't be at that one. And I want to thank my Minister Bures, for being there to represent us. And they spoke of Bill C-92, which is a federal relationship that's taking place right now. We're negotiating a transfer that will be happening between Canada and the Métis government, taking care of our children ourselves. The province will still be a player on the sidelines, but it'll be a direct relationship between us and there. Now, for the other one you announced, of course, we're looking for young people, young men and women that want to get out of the welfare syndrome. And I call it a syndrome because welfare tries to keep you locked up in that world. They make it so difficult for you to have a life. There's I call it sometimes, Ray, like communism. They can ask you who lives in your house. They can tell you who you're with. They can sometimes, in fact, they used to walk in your home and check to see if they find shoes or something. Really? And if you're a woman,
oh my God,
I'm not joking, Ray. That's a fact. And so it's not a very good thing to be on welfare these days. They look down on you, and what they forget, those welfare workers, to think about, that's our tax dollars. That's our money. It's not theirs. We pay taxes. All of us pay taxes. You pay taxes. Cowboy pays taxes. Mm-hmm. Everybody here can't pay taxes. So that tax money is actually there for a purpose. It's there to help those in the challenging and tough times. It's not for them to go and tell them, I want to know who you're living with. I want to know who you're dating. I want to know who's in your house or who you're feeding. It's none of their damn business. You know, if you're only entitled to $400 or $500, why are you treating them with such humility? How do you say, in a way of being not too strong, but really bringing them down to a level that they're not equal to you. And that's how they want them to feel.
Yeah.
And they want to feel that they're lesser. And that's not the way you should be treating people. And that's for us is very important. That's why this training program we're going to be doing at a Barrows. The site will be in Barrows. We already have our campsite selected. We have our trailers there. We're trying to take people, and I'll tell you what the objective is of people hearing this. We're going to train them how to use power saws. We're going to train them how to cut wood. But that's not what the goal is. The goal is we're going to train them how to become reliable when it comes to employment, how to make sure you're working as a team, how to make sure you understand the environment, understand the forest, and then at the same time have the responsibility of achieving something at the end of your day's work, but getting up in the morning on time, not being late, and then finishing your job and finishing your term. And so it's really life skills, and that's what this is going to be all about. It's not just about cutting wood. That's what the part of the project is, because we're going to use that firewood now. It's a win-win. We're going to take the firewood they cut and give it to our elders for free. So when you start looking at it that way, but the goal right now is to treat them, to change their life and give them the life skills they might need or could need when they apply for a job somewhere else. Because you go into these small communities, I said on the show many times, there's so much unemployment in there. And there's a lot of young men walking around looking for something to do and end up sometimes getting in trouble because there's nothing to do and they just give up. So we want to give them a chance to get out of that cycle, pay them to go out and live in a camp, and then go home every weekends or every 10 days. They'll maybe do 10-day cycles. We're not sure exactly how they're going to break it down. But it's a 14-man camp, and then at the same time, women and men camp. But at the same time, we're going to hire people from the community to cook, maintenance, clean up, so creating jobs at the same time. So when you look at it, Ray, these are the types of incentives and programs that truly make a difference. I remember growing up when I had a youth job, Ray, I never forget this as long as I live because we're poor. And I was so proud to get that little check. And I worked. I never missed work. Never. You could check with anybody in Duck Bay. I never missed work. I was always there, always making sure I got to work on time, finished. And I was so proud, and I had a little check to take home to my mom, to give her some money, help buy some grub, and at the same time buy myself a little thing, something here and there, maybe a new jeans or a new pair of runners. So you look at it from that part. That's what that feeling you have inside of you. That's yours. It's your money. It's your power now. You can do whatever you want with your money. Not welfare telling you where you can spend it and how much you can spend. Your money, you can do whatever you want. And that's the power. It's empowering people, right? So that's what that program's going to be all about. So make sure you get your applications in out there. I'm telling young men and women out there that want to get a job, start their career, learn a lot of the basic struggles of starting a job, and you'll learn that all from the skills. We're also giving that $350 yet to sports students out there that are going out there and applying to different involvements in sports and recreation. Just contact Thomas Pronto if you're going to be doing some, I don't care, whatever, arts maybe, maybe being an artist, maybe you want to do some entertainment, you want to go into sports, you want to do some hockey, maybe you need some skates. You can apply and get that $350. So just get that $350 to help you get some things that you might need, and hockey season will be coming around the corner. And again, Interlake Certified LCA program's ongoing, Ray. We're looking forward to filling that up and get that moving. And, of course, the South Potential Safety Training course, that's also ongoing. So it's open to all the River Métis. So, Ray, with that being said, I'll say goodbye. And I know I have to give some moose meat to Jean Chaboyer. Already he phoned. Even tracked me out in the bush here, Jean Chaboyer. Make sure you don't forget him. So I will have a chunk of moose meat for you, Ray, I promise. And probably, too, I promise a little piece. I'll slice it up maybe for you. And you just put in a frying pan and some nice oil and maybe some onions and some potatoes, and you're going to be in heaven.
Oh, I'm in heaven right now just thinking about it.
I'm telling you that we had some here, Ray.
Me too.
Oh, it is so beautiful. I had sore stomach. I ate so much moose meat because it was so good I couldn't stop eating. So anyways, and we got some pickerel. I bring back some pickerel for my elders out there. I know that some of the people already called ahead of time. They want to set aside some fish. Charlie Vermillion, you're probably listening. Not Charlie, sorry. Mr. Vermillion is probably listening right now in Winnipeg. And I will, his brother, his name is Charlie. I will give him some pickerels, I promise. And some of the other elders are going to be calling. I'll make sure I have some pickerels set aside for you. And we also got a few pieces of trout. We caught 3 trout. And so if anybody wants some trout, we'll have some pieces at the Federation. I'm not a big fan of trout. He's kind of a very oily fish, but it's a very high-end fish. But I'm not a big fan of it. I'd rather have suckers. Grinded suckers is what I'd rather have. Anyway, so with that being said, I'll talk to you guys next Saturday. Good job, my wife out there in St. George. She's packing up our little camper. And because, as I said, next year I hope to have a little cabin built out there so we can have something to stay, and that'll be my retirement one day, to be close to Winnipeg and to my grandkids, of course. and as every grandparent wants to be close to their grandkids, and for a place for me to call home. Because one day, as you all know, Ray, you and I, we will retire, either by force, by nature, or by health, or just that people say it's time for a new leader. And so, from my perspective, I hope that's not yet that soon. They want to get rid of me. I hope they want to keep me a little longer, finish off my jobs. And land claims is a big thing I'm really pushing on. I had some, I would say, disheartening news yesterday, Ray.
Yeah.
I spoke to the archbishops because, as you all know, we made statements publicly, and we're planning for 2.5 years now to go see the Pope. And so 8 people have been selected, one from Saskatchewan, Alberta, Manitoba, and I think one from British Columbia. I'm not sure, but there's 8 selected so far that'll meet the Pope. And, of course, with me as the lead for 2.5 years, I've been working on this. Because we left the MNC now are trying to stop us from going to see the Pope. I was very disheartened to hear that. Not one of them raised the issue the last 2.5 years. Not one of them raised the issue about being there or wanting to be there. But now, all of a sudden, Ray, that this is happening, it's becoming real.
Yeah.
They're advising the archbishops that David won't be representing now. It'll be somebody else.
What?
Well, we'll see about that. Well, let them, Ray. It says, but you know what it is? Because the MNC no longer represents the MMF, no longer represents the Red River Métis.
Right.
And we'll be dealing with them. And trust me, we will be dealing with them. And they've been going after, for example, Will Goodon was supposed to go represent us several years ago. Over a year ago, was selected on the environment file to go to Glasgow and represent us and with Canada. And they canceled him. MNC contacted the government of Canada and withdrew his name and put a new name in. Well, we got a hold of Canada right away, and Canada wrote us a letter saying, no, MMF, you will be coming, and you will be entitled to be there, and Mr. Goodon will be representing you. So MNC is trying to do some backroom dirty work, but let them try, because they're trying to retaliate because we left, given the fact everybody knows that's listening on this show about identity theft that's happening, where there's thousands upon tens of thousands that are coming from Ontario trying to be Métis Nation citizens. So that's why MMF left there, and that's why my people told me to leave. And but now they're trying to backdoor some dirty politics in the back room. So, but I'm up for that fight, Ray, and I'm looking forward to it. Mm-hmm. And I will tell you this: as Riel would have said, Red River Métis will prevail, and we will win this battle with them. And it'll be very clear we represent the Red River Métis, and there's nobody going to stop us. So again, Ray, I'll talk to you guys next Saturday, and I'll give you more an update on this issue and a few other files I'm working on right now. There's one in a potential court case that's coming in, again with the Métis National Council and their presidents. But I'll keep you posted as soon as I hear more details on it.
All right. Well, relax and have a good time, David.
I'm looking forward to coming home, Ray, because I want to go to. I got a lot of energy again, Ray. I'm full of moose meat and pickerel and energy to fight now. So I want to get back home and get to work and take them all on.
Oh, look out, folks.
Take care.
All right, David, thanks. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
David Chartrand, of course, the president of the Manitoba Métis Federation, with his weekly report, Métis Matters.